lights go out and away they go for 15 minutes of racing. The Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship. They're heading off up towards Rich's Corner for the first time. Who's going to get turned in first then? You've got Topley in the gold-coloured car on the outside. He's under threat actually from Daniel Sylvester on the inside line through Rich's Corner, but it did look like it was Cook that held on to the advantage. Yes, he did. It is still Topley in second. Sylvester trying to go around the outside of him, and Sean Traynor trying to make a move around the outside. He started only 6th, of course. We go on board with the 26 car, and that is Paul Cook.
This is the last weekend in the MR2 Championship for Paul Cook. He was telling me yesterday that car's up for sale. There's multiple interested parties, I believe, so Paul Cook would like to go out with a strong weekend in a championship that he's been in for a very long time, Ian.
Yeah, he has very experienced, lots of wins in the MR2 Championship down the years. Here, though, he's a little bit further down the order than he might like to be because he started the race only in 10th and he's had a spin after contact. There's 2 or 3 cars that have spun around there. Paul Cook trying to get pointing back in the right direction just as soon as he can. There you can see his 26 car getting back out onto the circuit then. So Paul Cook started 10th. He's going to be even further back down the order now as the leaders are about to head through Williams, Josh.
And a great start from Sean Traynor. You mentioned him going round the outside at Wilson. He's already 3rd, just behind Ali Topley. Ben Rowe, who missed Brands Hatch's 4th, then Daniel Sylvester 5th, and Adam Lockwood there in 6th. I think Lockwood's missed a meeting this year too, but he's finished 2nd 4 times over the course of the 2022 season. So Adam Lockwood having a really good year here. Here comes Traynor up the inside of Topley. We're having a look anyway into the S's into Brundle, but he can't make that work. We can see in front of him his championship rival Aaron Cook just pulling away at this stage. There he is, our number 1, the double champion Aaron Cook, and then his pursuers Alistair Topley, who's been the top Class B driver this season. I think we ride on board with him now. He leads the Class B championship. You get individual class points as well as an overall championship based on the overall finishing positions, and that's the main championship we're talking about over the course of today.
Yeah, as the leaders then are about to come to the end of their first lap. Apologies, by the way, for 1 or 2 technical issues on the live stream. We know about those. We're going to work to fix them as the day goes on. So end of the first lap then, and it is Aaron Cook with a healthy advantage of just over a second over Topley in 2nd place. Sean Traynor only 0.2 of a second behind Topley in 3rd. Then it's about 1.2 seconds back to Ben Rowe, who's in 4th position. Daniel Sylvester, after that good start, losing out down to 5th, and Adam Lockwood completing the top 6.
Sean Traynor's gone up the inside of Alex Topley on the exit of the Wilson hairpin. He got the car turned in better using the lighter Mark III, the newer car. The car from the 2000s against the 1990s Mark II of Topley. He couldn't make the move work. Behind there's been a change at the beginning of this lap because Daniel Sylvester, who's been having a good season, has got himself up ahead of Ben Rowe. Sylvester 4th in the championship. Ben Rowe, another driver actually, who missed Brands Hatch. Here comes Traynor, late on the brakes. Into the Agostini hairpin. He outbrakes himself a little bit though and slides out wide. So Alistair Topley saw him come in. He let him go and he slotted him back ahead on the exit of the corner. That was well judged, wasn't it, by Alistair Topley. We get another view of that, I think, there. So you really saw Topley using his mirror as well there, Ian. Seeing Traynor braking late, letting him go and then repassing him on the exit of the corner and all that. They've actually caught Aaron Cook, bizarrely.
Yeah, that's a bit strange, isn't it? You'd think while that was going on they would lose ground. So whether Cook has made a mistake or not on his own, I don't know. But you've got the top 3 right together now as Traynor goes rally crossing on the exit of Williams. But now you've got Topley, who's in a position to pick up the tow from Aaron Cook down the straight and into Brundle and Nelson. And let's see if he's able to make use of this. He looked at the outside line through Brundle. That would give him the inside line through Nelson, but I don't think he's quite made that work. Cook uses a fair bit of curb on the exit of the corner. Not as much as Sylvester in the background, by the way, who's back up to 4th position, I think, at the expense of Ben Rowe. Yes, he is. There you can see the confirmation of that 4th and 5th. So still the top 3 together then. If anything, Traynor's just lost a couple of car lengths, Josh.
Yeah, and Topley right on the rear bumper of Aaron Cook. I wonder if the next couple might close in. This is what we saw at Brands Hatch in the first race. Aaron Cook got pole, but then had no pace whatsoever in the race. And lap 2 is kind of suggesting this, because Sylvester there, who was nearly 3 seconds back at the start of the lap, is not far away now from the top 3 as they complete 2 laps of race. And Aaron Cook feeling the need to defend pretty heavily at this stage of the race, and Topley trying to use the 2-litre engine Mark II to get alongside. But it didn't really look like there was actually much difference in a straight line there between the 2 different types of cars. But because of the tight line into the corner, Cook is wide on the exit. But it's actually Sean Traynor that's making the most of this, because he's dived around the outside of Alistair Topley. He's sideways again. We've seen that a few times over the course of the last lap, but he's gone through Sean Traynor around the outside there into the hairpin, moves up ahead of Topley. So it's Cook from Traynor, the 2 drivers have won most of the championships recently in MR2s, and Daniel Sylvester there in 4th is with the top 3 now.
Yeah, he set the fastest lap of the race on the previous lap, which of course was the first flying lap as well, a 2:19.25, which is 24 hundredths outside the Class C lap record. Class B lap record's a bit quicker than that, 2:17.78 for Sean Traynor. So out of Agostini they go, heading off towards Hamilton, the left-hander. It's Aaron Cook that leads, number 1 then. In 2nd place it's number 27, Sean Traynor. In 3rd place it's the 41 car of Ali Topley, and in 4th place is Daniel Sylvester. They've got probably 0.7 of a second back to Ben Rowe, who's in 4th place, but he's not terribly far away from them, and he's got Adam Lockwood and Graham Mailings, I think, for quite close company as well. So it's a real good mix between the Mark IIIs and the Mark IIs. The Mark III slightly more dominant numerically at the front of the field today, and certainly the top 2 now, both these roadsters with the 1.8-litre engines aboard.
Yeah, and here they come absolutely together out of the Nelson corner that complete the S's, and then towards the end of what is lap 3 of this opening race of the day. It should be 7 lapper, I should think, for these 15-minute races for these types of cars. And they turn their way through Corb Curve, the really long right-hander that just keeps going on and on and on until eventually they have to slow the car down into Murray's, and Aaron Cook's got his car slowed down there on the apex of the corner, so nobody can challenge him. He wants a good exit to here because it's a very long run down the centre straight up towards Ritchie's corner behind Daniel Sylvester, right underneath the rear bumper there of Alistair Topley, and he's going to try and go round the outside, is he, into Ritchie's corner, but he can't make anything of that. But the top 4 is separated by less than 1 second, with rain spots on our camera, on our commentary box windows, and a few cars with wipers on at this stage, Ian.
Yeah, it is raining, but not an awful lot. And my word, does Norfolk need the rain at the moment? I think we are going to get some more significant rain tomorrow, perhaps, but certainly at the moment it's only that psychological rain, isn't it, that we hear word of. There's the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th place group. Well, actually 8th as well if we include the 84 car of Neil Stratton. His is the yellow road, so there is then a gap back to 9th and 10th, which is Darren Aldworth and Tim Heron. But here are the 2 leaders in their roads, just starting to get away a little bit from the next 2. Sylvester sticking his nose up the inside of Alistair Topley there at Agostini there, as the number 21 driver tried to get past Topley, but he couldn't make it work. Through Hamilton now, and then to the right-hander at Oggies. And then after that it's the short sprint up to another right-hander at Williams, and then back onto the Bentley Straight.
At this stage, Aaron Cook has got the 8th fastest lap of the race. The race leader, all the 7 cars behind him are quicker than him, which is important in this race because people are catching him, but even more important for the race later on today, because that's how the grid is set, the fastest laps from this race. And this is the same sort of problem he had at Brands Hatch, where he was defending for the whole race and not having pace, and he might lose the lead here because Sean Traynor goes right round the outside at Brundle, which would be a good move. He had the back out of it, though. Aaron Cook was late on the brakes there, and he's able to keep people behind just like he was at Brands Hatch, Aaron Cook, but in a very similar vein, he's certainly not able to get away from anybody.
No, he's not. Absolutely right. It's a really tight old race, this, and he's a bit of a target, Aaron Cook, out there in front. Sean Traynor in second, and these 2 really have been the drivers that have been dominant in MR2 racing for quite a few seasons now between them. Cook having won the championship twice, Traynor 4 times. Cook still only 25 years of age. Relative newcomer to circuit racing about 3 years ago.
That was a better lap from Cook. On best laps, Cook, Traynor, Topley, Lockwood, Mailings and Stratton all within half a tenth of a second of one another. It's only Daniel Sylvester that's gone a bit quicker and Ben Rowe that's gone a bit slower, so extremely competitive here between the lap times between these top 8 cars.
Paul Cook, by the way, back up to 13th place now, and he's lapping faster than 2 or 3 cars ahead of him as well, so Paul Cook might yet get back into the top 10 after that incident to Agostini on the opening lap of the race. There's only 5 minutes to go. 15-minute races, of course, around here only give you perhaps 6 or 7 laps of racing.
Yeah, that's right. I think it should be 7, shouldn't it, for the MR2s. We might see some 6-lap races throughout the weekend, though, later on. Here's Paul Cook turning his way through. Palmer on board with him, making good progress in the 7 Patron Racing Toyota MR2. If he can get a clear lap, he might be able to get a good lap time, which will give him a good position for later on. But at the moment, he's stuck in a battle. Is that Tom Mailings ahead of him, possibly? With behind Jim Mew at the start of the lap. I think he's passed him already. So he's got Tom Mailings up next, whose best result this year has been a 9th. Paul Cook's had a couple of podiums. He's had a 2nd and a 3rd over the course of the season, once at Donington and once at Croft.
That's right, so we're still on board with Paul Cook as he battles to get back into the top 10, and he's just about to make his way onto the straight as the leaders are a little bit further up the road. Of course, in the last 4 minutes of this race now, can Paul Cook use this tow along the straight, going to the right hand side of Mailings as they get up into Brundle and Nelson, but we might actually make it through on the inside at the second part of the corner, but no, Mailings holds on there, Josh.
And there's been a change towards the front of the field because Daniel Sylvester's got himself up ahead of Alistair Topley for 3rd. So here's the driver progressing during the course of this race. 2 laps to go. Here they come across the line. It's still, though, Aaron Cook leading. Sean Traynor 2nd. There's Sylvester behind him, now in 3rd position, ahead of Alistair Topley. So it's the 3 roadsters ahead at this stage of Topley and Ben Rowe. There's Traynor then. He's got 2 more laps, 6 more miles of racing to try and get ahead of Aaron Cook. But if Aaron Cook has got some sort of problem with the cars not as quick as perhaps it should be, he's doing a great job here at keeping the championship leader behind him.
Indeed he is. Meanwhile, Jim Cook is getting the driving standards flag, so that'll be, I imagine, for exceeding track limits. So as you say, 2 laps left to go in this race. Those are the 2 leaders. There's Daniel Sylvester in 3rd. I suspect his ambitions of victory have diminished now because he is a second or so away from the top 2, who are heading down to the hairpin, the left-hand hairpin at Agostini once again on this infield section at Snetterton. And apologies once again for some of the technical issues we're having at the moment. We're working hard to fix those for later in the day, but it's still plain to see that there's a very good race going on at the front of the field between number 1 Aaron Cook and 27 Sean Traynor. These the 2 likely protagonists for the championship. Sean Traynor with 5 wins this season. It's just 2 for Aaron Cook, the only other driver to get a win this season has been Alistair Topley, who's there, as you can see now, in that gold liveried car down in 4th position behind the roadster of Sylvester.
I think Tom Mailings and Jim Mew have just been involved in an incident at Agostini. They've both got back going but lost a lot of time. Meanwhile, the leaders, are they side by side here as they go into Brundle? And Sean Traynor this time does fight right round the outside to get the lead, but he's lost it. He's all sideways. He's saved it. He's all over the curves. Now he's off the circuit. What was you saying about Daniel Sylvester being a long way behind? Well, that's not going to be the case anymore.
He's going to be up to 2nd, is he? They're going to be side by side through the bomb hole, and it is just the car getting ahead there of Daniel Sylvester for 2nd. There's a car there that's off the circuit. That was Maxine Nichols, I think, wasn't it, who's in trouble. There is the Sean Traynor, who's now holding on for 3rd place here because Topley is besides him as they go into with Sean Traynor just about fending him off for the moment. But of course, Sean Traynor lost that momentum at pretty much the worst possible time.
Well, he's lucky he didn't have a bigger accident, really, because that is a possibility at that point of the circuit. But anyway, they go up across the line. He's got a good lead now, Aaron Cook, of 1.1 seconds over Daniel Sylvester. Then Sean Traynor is 3rd. Ben Rowe is in 4th. Is he? Has he got himself up ahead of Alistair Topley? No, he didn't quite make it work. They were actually level across the line, but I don't think it was a successful move. No, still Topley there in fourth, ahead of Ben Rowe. Sean Trainor's pushing on again, though. He's out over the dirt, coming out of the Wilson hairpin. Now, this is the last lap of the race. Can Aaron Cook hold on to the lead?
Yep, timed element has almost run down. That's Ben Rowe getting a little bit sideways there through Palmer. Here they come. There's the stricken car of Nichols as the leaders come down to Agostini, and it is Cook at the moment leading from Sylvester in second, about a second between those two, and then Sean Trainor in third. He'll be desperate to try to get back ahead of Sylvester. Of course, he's done a lot of work on the first lap to get from 6th on the grid up into contention, and he's having a look at Oggies here. The two of them almost overlapping. They'll then come to the right-hander at Williams, and then it's a question of whether Trainor's going to be in the tow as they go along the Bentley Straight, and he's about 3 or 4 car lengths behind at the moment, Josh. Daniel
Sylvester's not finished on the podium yet this season. I don't think he has in the past either. He's had 3 4th place finishes in the past, but never a podium, and he's currently in second place. We're going up to the part of the track where Sean Trainor has challenged Aaron Cook. This time he could have challenged Daniel Sylvester, but perhaps thought better of it considering what happened a lap ago. So Sylvester therefore hangs on to second. Very limited overtaking opportunities left now if Trainor is to get that second position back as they go into Coram for the final time. Nose to tail for second and third positions. So it's Aaron Cook well clear, but second still to be contested here.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're through Murray's for the final time. It's all going to be about the sprint to the line for second place. Checkered flag's going to go out to Aaron Cook, and I think it's going to be Daniel Sylvester that gets second place, which will be his best finish in the Toyo Toyota MR2 Championship. Indeed he does, by about 0.3 of a second in the end from Sean Trainor. He takes third in number 27. Ali Topley it is in fourth place. Ben Rowe fifth. Graham Mailings across the line in 6th, Adam Lockwood 7th, Neil Stratton 8th, Darren Aldworth 9th, and for 10th on the last lap it is Paul Cook that makes up the place to get ahead of Tim Herron. But Aaron Cook, I'm not sure it was very easy for him, but he did get the win, his third of the season.
Yeah, that's right, and he'll claw 5 points back. He was only 7 behind, so it's down to 2 then going into later on this afternoon's race. It's all a bit odd, isn't it, how Aaron Cook's pace has been over the last 2 meetings. So that's a question for Kieran to ask our race winner. Although he won the race, it looked like he didn't quite have the pace you might expect of the driver who got pole position, a driver who has won 2 championships in the past, but he's got the job done, like you say. He's very good at defending, but later on he's going to start much further down the order. It's actually going to be Daniel Sylvester who starts on pole later, so he's going to have a real shot at it. But Trainor, he was aggressive, wasn't he, trying to get through, and that just didn't work out for him. Like I say, he was lucky to get what he did out of that race, because he looked like he was going to spin at one point, and he kind of caught it. Then he had to avoid the big curb, which is that type of curb has been controversial in motorsport lately, so he avoided that. And then he was pacing the grass, and then sorted that out, and ended up third position.
He did. And of course, an all Mark 3, top 3 here. 3 roadsters filling the first 3 positions.
First time that's happened?
I don't know. I can see you're scrutinising the past results now to work out whether that's a first.
It happened at Brands, actually. Lockwood was on the podium there with Trainor and Cook. So.
But it's not all that common that we get that particular result configuration. So the best of the Class B cars was Alistair Topley in 4th position overall. And he was ahead of Ben Rowe, and then the 3rd of the Class B cars was actually Darren Aldworth, who took 9th position. So that was the way of things at the end of the first of the day's races for the Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship. There's another race to come for them later on this afternoon. That's going to be at around about 5 o'clock. As spots of rain continue to accumulate, not particularly great volume, but they are there nevertheless on our commentary box window. I'm not sure it's doing much to change the condition of the circuit at the moment, so it's very warm out there, so I don't think any dampness will be particularly prolonged. So we'll hopefully in a moment be able to head down to the Parc Fermé area. That's where the top 3 will be found. and they're going to speak to Kieran McGinley for the first time today.
Yes, thank you very much. And yes, a little bit of psychological rain at the race end there. But I have to say, now I'm here with Aaron Cook. Aaron, well, how was the race out there? Looked a bit tentative at times.
Yeah, it was a tense race. Brilliant racing with Sean. We've always had some good battles together, and that one was no different. Glad that the battle happened when the cameras were here. We always like to put on a bit of a show. But yeah, great. He made some good moves. I managed to get the switch back on him a couple of times. One time I thought he was going round, but managed to hold it together. But yeah, the rain, I don't think it really affected things much. I was hoping it would get in some people's heads. Think it was a bit slippery, but I think it was just warm tyres, get a bit slippery towards the end.
And of course, the best people to be battling behind you is for it to happen behind you. So you was able to stretch your lead a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I need Sean to lose a few more places really for the championship. We've been tight all year. He nipped ahead of me at Brands Hatch, so I'm trying to claw some points back. Hopefully we can make it 3 championships in a row. But yeah, great to have a battle with Sean to try and stop me.
Absolutely. Aaron, congratulations on the victory and go enjoy a well-earned lunch break. Let's have a chat to our second place driver in Daniel Sylvester. Daniel, well, talk to me about that race, because that was a bit of a hectic ending.
Yeah, it was really good. Hectic ending, hectic race, everything was really good. I owe Alistair Topley a big thank you. He let me through and then he gave me a few nice little touches up the arse just to keep me going. So yeah, big thanks to Ali for that. But yeah, best ever finish, so I'm pretty chuffed with that.
And a little bit of rain just at the end. I mean,
it started to get a bit slippy. I weren't sure if it was my tyres or someone dropping oil or anything, but yeah, it got a bit slippy towards the end. But yeah, what a race! It was awesome. Yeah, real good.
And what goes through your head then when you see those first spots of rain hit the windscreen? Is there anything in particular going through your head?
Hitting everyone's windscreen, aren't they? So everyone's on the same playing field, so it doesn't really matter, does it? But yeah, it certainly takes your attention away. Just touch the wipers once or twice, you'll be all right.
Daniel, so much. Thank you very much for the chat. Enjoy your second place. Congratulations today. And let's have a chat with our third place driver in the number 27 of Sean Trainer. Sean, well, a bit of an eventful end to that race. Talk us through it.
Well, I had a qualifying, we lost third gear on the third lap, so we were starting in 6th, which I think we had the pace to be on the front row, so I had to make a good start, which we got a good start. And then I had a couple of, the lap before, I think it was the third lap from the end, I managed to come around the outside of Aaron, but he just had his nose in front for, I can't remember the corner, at the end of the straight, and it's the right-hander. So he took that one, and then thought, next time, if I'm close enough next time, I'll give it another go. And I hung it in there a little bit longer, and then I lost the rear end, so I got in front for about a second.
TV-friendly words coming out of your mouth, I hope?
Yeah. But it was good. No, it was good race, but hopefully we've set a decent enough time to put us somewhere in the front 2 for the next race, or front couple of grids, anyway, front row, or front 2 rows. I don't think I've got a front row pace in there, but because I was battling with Aaron for most of the time. At one point I thought, do I back out and then try to go for it and put a lap time in for the next one? And I thought, I've done it too many times before, and then all of a sudden they make a little mistake and you're not there to take advantage. So I thought, no, I'll try it. So, but it didn't work this time. Hopefully next time.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, enjoying your wreath today, and congratulations on third place. And with that, then that becomes our lunch break. So we'll be back in about 20 past 1 for the Race Sports Historic 750 Formula Series. So join us then when we will come back for some more racing action after lunch.